So I've been thinking about adding some more dog holes to my workbench along this front edge. Basically because I don't have enough, well, I have too much of a gap between these ones. I find them too inconvenient. So I'm going to try and put some in between every one here. So they'll now be at 4-inch centres once I've done that. I was considering offsetting them slightly towards this front edge for fear of perhaps weakening this board along here. But of course it's glued with boards either side and there shouldn't really be an issue, so I'm going to keep them in line, as that will also allow me to keep my hand planing in line so it's parallel to the bench edge, and I think that would be more comfortable. I've already marked out my centre lines between each set of dog holes, but what I want to do now is to put a parallel line between here, parallel to the bench's edge. I'll set up my combination square for that. The next thing I'll do is take a centre punch and just mark that with a hammer, which is about there. In actual fact though, I'm not going to put a hole here because, if you go back a bit, you can see there's actually a leg there. So if I put the hole there, it's just going to fill up with sawdust and crap, and it's not really much use to be honest. So, and the same thing over my bench vise here. Again, drilling through that would go right into the mechanism of the vise, and it would just back up with sawdust and it would be counterproductive really. I would like to talk to you a bit about the drill bit I'm going to use for this. It's an Armeg Wood Beaver. It's actually something I stumbled across by accident a few years ago. I was looking on eBay for a 19mm 3/4 inch drill bit because I didn't have one. I had a 20mm, but that was too big. I was looking at spade bits, forcing the bits that would be too slow, and eventually I found this. It's like an auger style bit. You can see it's got the 4 cutting spurs. They're still very sharp to this day. And you've got the central one which kind of pilot drills its way through the wood. They're designed to be fitted in cordless drills, and you can use them this way. And if you do that, you want to use it on the slowest speed setting. If you try and use it too fast, I'll just maybe just work this here. It just bites down. There's only a 10.8 volt drill, but even with an 18 volt I found it's a bit of a struggle. You can see that my 10.8 volt cordless drill is actually struggling on this bit of beech. If I take some pine, however, nice bit of softwood, let's see what happens now. See, I've already drilled this one anyway, so you know it's going to work. That was quite easy. And again, it's soft wood. A bit of breakout on this side, but normally with a hardwood you wouldn't expect that with these bits. I've now got this bit set up on my SDS drill, which is usually reserved for drilling into masonry and concrete, but it's also my only mains powered drill, so that's why I'm using this. There's a Wolfcraft drill stand I'm using to keep the drill bit vertical as it goes through the bench. My hand-eye coordination isn't that great. What you will notice though, with the base fully in its highest position, the bit still protrudes through the base just there. If I try and rest this on the wood now, there's no guarantee the start of the cut will be perfectly plumb and vertical. So what I'm going to have to do is to put some scrap wood underneath here just to raise the height a bit. Okay, now I have these scrap blocks fixed in place. I can just demonstrate for you how well this drill bit works in beech. I'm going to set the drill onto the slower speed of the two. Just start off like that. I should mention there, it's important to keep both hands on the drill when you're doing this. But hopefully you can also see just how quickly it raced through the bit there, through the timber. It's almost all the way through, so you can go right through. I'll try and be a bit more careful this time. It's the first time I've done it in like 3 years, so please excuse me for that. You'll see that's a pretty clean hole, I do say so. Very minimal with breakout, but I've seen it a lot worse with spade bits and things. I'm just going to do an end grain cut for you now, again on the same first speed, slower speed of the two. Just put it forward gear first, that helps. It's not biting that for some reason. Cool, that's pretty noisy. I'm feeling confident enough now to go ahead and drill the rest of these dog holes. See what happens. And there we have it, the extended line of dog holes in my workbench, all drilled thanks to this Armeg Wood Beaver. I'm holding it with a rag because it's still quite hot after all that drilling. What I forgot to mention earlier is that I actually lent this one to a friend a couple of years ago. He was running his workbench made of an 1.5-inch slab of chipboard, and yeah, it did the job well, but the surprising thing is it's still very, very sharp to touch on these points. It's also very hot, as I said just now, but I'm impressed by how much it hasn't lost it's still got its edge, and it hasn't lost its sharpness. It's quite impressive, really. And there you go. Plastic dogs, wooden dogs. What else have I got down here? Wonder dogs. It all fits in there. These wooden ones here is a block of oak with a 19mm 3/4 inch beech dowel and a wedge in the top there to secure it. Very simple to make. You know, use up your offcuts, and it works very well. So thanks for watching this. I'll see you again soon.